So, this little code here is QR, quick response code, and contained within this matrix is a web address. And you can print these out on paper, stick them on posters. I've seen them on drinks and cartons. You see them more and more in magazines and so on. And the clever thing about it is that the mobile phone can read the content of web address embedded within it. Now, that means if you've got something called a QR reader, now these aren't just on the iPhone and Android, they're on most phones that have a camera. So if your phone's got a camera, you can probably read a QR code. So what I will do is I will select the scan button. See now, what you see here is what the camera sees, it's live. If I point it the QR code on my screen, it will instantly decode the address, I press a button, and it now means that what was on the screen there is now on my mobile phone screen. Or what was on the advert, say maybe it's a car advert, you saw a QR code, you blip it and now you're watching a video of the car. In the case of this Empedia site, these are interactive trails. So you go to Stoke Ruin and explore this trail. It's got sound and video pictures. And the QR codes are located on the trail. So as you go for a walk, if you've got your phone with you, you can blip, as I call it, blip the address, and now you hear the audio. As you walk down this path, you will see some. Now these QR codes are getting increasingly sort of popular. If you haven't seen them, if you don't say, oh, I still don't recognise them, you certainly will soon. They are a very popular way for print media. Very popular way for print media to add multimedia to their paper ads. But also this locative element, put them in a location, means that you can walk past a building, blip it on your phone and find out about that building. Now the other idea we had was, we were going back to the iPhone app, if we were to build one of these little QR readers into it, you could stick a QR code for a news story on a building, on a poster, in a magazine and so on. And then when you blip using the phone, you get the story on your phone or a video associated with it. It's very high-tech but also quite low-tech, and then you can just print these things off. And it costs next to nothing to print them. You don't need special technology or anything like that. But the potential, again, is very broad. You're starting to connect the news story with the location, or the news story, multimedia version of the story, with the print version and so on. So, you can imagine in any print publication, maybe the youth supplement to the Mercury, the Wave magazine, you could have them in there, flip them, and you get videos. We're using them with From Dusk Till Dawn magazine. They've got quite a few QR codes going throughout the publication. We're doing our Empedia site for historical walks and locations around the area. Other uses as well. I'm sure as part of this iPhone group we can come up with other ideas. It's that ease at which you can make them which really appeals to me. It's like, it's high tech, but it's just laser printer or a sticker you stick onto a poster or something. In fact, I think I've seen some around here on the film posters, so they're starting to use them. So that would be the next feature we would look at adding. So within the iPhone app, the bar down here would have a QR reader, and if you happen to see one of these QR codes around the city or up on the big screen, because they can be on computer screens as well, hold your phone up, blip, and you get the story on here. Now last night I noticed on the news, there was an article on BBC News about augmented reality. The idea that when you look through the camera, you see not just what the camera sees, but another layer. Maybe you see an animation. Maybe you point the camera at a building and you see virtual billboards over the top. It's putting us one step towards that, but in sort of a playful way. You don't have to invest in lots of expensive technology. We can try these things out, see if they work, see if people use them, and then move on to doing things like that in the future.
Is it possible to project a QR code onto the side of a building? Like and on a t-shirt as well, isn't it?
Oh, t-shirts, yeah. You could walk around with a QR code on your t-shirt, and every time the computer camera saw you, it would blip something on a screen. You can project, but the images have to be high contrast, so the QR code, if I go back to it, the difference between light and dark has to be quite strong. It doesn't mean that this has to be black and that has to be white all the time. It has to be a high contrast. The problems with some projectors during the day, certainly the contrast wouldn't line up. I don't see why not.
So the possibility of using the iPhone app to have some sort of news walkers, you could do that as well.
And it could be historical or it could be contemporary. You could, if you wanted to do a project, maybe it was a 100-year anniversary of something, people could go on a walk and they could get news from 100 years ago in that location. So you'd blip something here in St George's and it wouldn't be about the cultural quarter, it would be about the hosiery industry. But you could do that, you could take stuff and place it in a location for a different time.
Because when it comes to the Museum of Citizen Journalism, that's the kind of thing that you could do, couldn't you? Where you could come here and almost like, get like an iPod or an iPhone or an iPad, and you could actually go out with a set of headphones and you could go on this walk. Then based on, hold up the iPad viewer on the phone, there's your QR code, and bang, and it gives you like this audio news walk of stuff.
But if you look at Mpedia, the technology is here really. Mpedia has, for example, the Cultural Quarter Guide, and this is another iPhone app, so you can download this if you wanted to. And as you walk around the Cultural Quarter, you get pictures and additional information. But when you run the version on the iPhone app itself, because there's a GPS inside this, it can show you where you are on this map. So here. So it can show you where your nearest content is. And it will guide you to the nearest information point. Well, it can also be set up to automatically trigger, so that as you approach a piece of content, the phone buzzes, you look at it and it plays a video to you, that sort of thing. So you think of it, look, this giant map of Leicester that we'd like to populate with news stories all about the community. But then you put it back into people's pockets, and as they walk around Leicester, they get information. And that information could be contemporary stuff that's happened in the last week, but it might be as your archive gets bigger, or as you might research stuff in the past. It could be what happened in this area 100 years ago, 50 years ago or something. And this really, think of the iPhone, or similar devices, as like windows into this little world. So this enables you to look through into stuff that happened in the past, contemporary stuff that maybe is all around you but not visible. One project we're doing is mapping green Leicester, and Leicester's got a history of being an environment city and so on. But often a lot of these green initiatives, like solar panels or whatever, are on roofs. Unless you knew there was something there, well, you'd think it's just an ordinary building. Well, with the interactive map, we can tell you and show you pictures of why this building has a particularly strong green angle to it. It's got wind turbine, it's got solar panels and so on. So again, I think the more we talk about it, the more ideas we can come up with. So there's no shortage of ideas. And this technology here, the Mpedia technology, is quite mature now. We were lucky enough to get a grant to build this system from the museum service, and we built it to hold museum content. Now it's built, it can hold different content as well, so it can be used. It could be music. In fact, there's another guide. Let's see if it's live. That's might be a mix. This is this was produced by Sally Hopper. Can't see it there actually, but she's produced a busking tour. So what this is musicians. It's not live. Musicians who are busking around Leicester, and as you walk around with the iPhone app, you get to hear their music and see the video. So they're not really there all the time, but they were there at some point. So you could be on a busking tour of Leicester.
That's awesome.
Oral history tour here, so that's quite a nice walk to go on. So here you can go on over walk around Leicester, and you can pick up all these audio points. And like sometimes you get those little museum headsets, but you can really only use them in the museum. So they get lost or whatever. It's like here actually there's a really good, amongst other things, there's a really good bit. I think it's here, it's Shire called Icos. When they were building it, they discovered there was a Roman or an old cemetery. And so underneath the High Cross is a cemetery, a historic cemetery. But while they were building the shopping centre, they were able to do a bit of excavation, archaeology and so on. Of course, that's now hidden. The shopping centre couldn't really not be built as a cemetery. But this can put you back in and take that. There's a really interesting description of it. It can tell you what's under the ground. So even though you can't see it, you can find out more about it. Well, we can do the same thing, as I say, with contemporary news.